Okay, this is Jesse Gooch from JG Productions and Thursdays on Water, and we have a couple members of the American Doors. We got Chuck and Bill, and we just wanted to give a little bit of a background, talk to them a little bit about the history of their band and the music that they do, and that sort of thing. So I kind of want to start off with that, just kind of how you guys met. I know that we hired, or we have the American Doors coming tomorrow, so that's the band that's going to be playing tomorrow. But you're also in a band called Mo Porter, and I'm sure you guys have a couple other projects going on, but you can kind of
lots of different stuff. Mo Porter is actually a takeoff of the American Doors. The foundation of the American Doors is Mo Porter, with maybe one or two minor changes. And of course, we do other events and shows during the year locally in Buffalo. And Bill's our drummer, and he has a bunch of different things going on himself. So we get together and have some fun. And a couple times a year we do the American Doors, and pretty much throughout the year, we do Mo Porter, and of course Bill's a part of that, along with a few other guys. And Bill has a few projects of his own as well.
And when did you guys start? How long ago was that?
When did we start?
Oh, he's been doing the Doors thing since probably before I was born. I joined Mo Porter probably, I don't know, maybe like 7 years ago, 7 years ago, and then started playing with him in the Doors project. So
cool. What other projects are you in?
I will play with Working Man's Dead and Lithium, MJ in the Way. I do a Who tribute with Eminence Front and Company, obviously Mo Porter, and I done some original projects to a band called Many Things, some people from Kenmore, So I sit in occasionally and fill in for bands when their drummer can't make it, and I try to keep that to a minimum. It's a lot of work, but between all of it, I stay busy. I keep a busy calendar.
Yeah.
But this is a great gig coming up here with the American Doors.
Yeah. So you said you guys play a couple times a year. Do you guys do any festivals, or is house parties, or what?
Yeah. Well, we started off at the Trough about 10 years ago, and that's where we launched the actual Doors band, and it went really well. And we don't oversaturate it. We just have a few select dates that we do, like I said, maybe 2-3 times a year, and this is obviously a really big show for us, and we're looking forward to it, and of course playing with the Strictly Hip and Jeremy and all my friends in that band makes it extra special, because we're all in this together, and our paths always cross, and this is another time where we get a chance to hang out and have fun and entertain the crowds.
What's really cool is I met you last year. You were at one of the shows, watching one of the bands. I can't remember which one it was, and you introduced yourself, told me about your band and your music, and then I looked you up and really liked what you did. I just didn't get a chance to. There's so many musicians and bands out there. It's hard for me to be able to see all of them. So I try to do my research and whatever I can, and hopefully try to get a chance to listen to everybody live, because we have the Western New York has amazing musicians and bands that should get national recognition, but it's how the music market is. But anyways, what I thought was cool about it is, and it's not just with you, I think it's a lot of other musicians and bands on an off night when they don't have a gig going on. A lot of you guys will check out other bands. And I think that's cool that local musicians are supporting other local musicians and other bands and things like that.
Yeah.
So, and again, that's how
who
we
loves
met.
music more than us?
Right.
Right.
And that's how we met. And I thought it was really cool. You were watching one of the bands and that sort of thing. And now this year you're performing with us.
Yeah, and in Buffalo, the thing is that we go to see other bands, and then they call us up as a guest performer for maybe a song or two, and then they come to our show, and then we reciprocate, and they come up and play one with us, and it just goes around and around, and everyone gets to be this one big family, which is really special in Buffalo, and you don't see that really in too many other areas. that I know of. But I do know Buffalo, and I know that we're all a big family, and we enjoy each other, and we really are friends. We don't just, I don't like to think of it as a competition. It's more of a family, and we're
more of a brotherhood kind of thing.
exactly, and we try and help each other out whenever we can.
Yeah, I get it. And I mean, our job is, doing what we do, and Thursdays on the Water is we want to help expose some bands like you guys. And I'm really excited to see this Doors thing tomorrow. I'm a huge Jim Morrison Doors fan, so I think it'll be cool. And I do have a great team behind me. I have a big staff behind me. And, I'll forget to mention all their names, so I won't even go there. But great staff, and I try to be creative. And when I'm pairing I call it pairing bands together. Like when we try to come up with an opener and a headliner, and I try to think of what I think would be a good fit, and then I'll call up Rob or Joe or some of the guys on my team and say, what do you think of these two together? Then I have to check availability. So it might sound good in my head, but then I got to make sure it all works. I look at Gord Downey from the Tragically Hip as sort of, I call him sort of a modern day Jim Morrison, because I look at him as a poet, and the way he expresses his music, and he's a performer.
Absolutely.
Was. God bless both of them. And Jim Morrison was that for his time. So I thought, how cool could it be to have like a Jim Morrison thing and a Gord Downey, vibe on the same stage at the same night. I don't know that it's been done before, but I wanted to, hopefully be the first one to try it out.
It's because Gord Downey would be considered kind of a intellectual poet.
Correct.
And Jim Morrison,
Same
the
thing.
band The Doors took their name from, I think it's, Robert Blake? William Blake, Robert Blake's poem called The Doors of Perception. So my guess would be that Gord Downey was familiar with that work as
Similar
well.
brains, yeah.
Yeah, very much so.
So that's why I thought this would be a great pair. I'm so happy that both bands were available to do it, and I think it's just going to be super exciting.
Yeah, we're all very excited about it. And you talk about Jim Morrison and the Doors, but really the band that they had and the band that I have is really important, because they're the ones who really make it come alive. And same thing with the Doors. They were a great band as well, and that's why Jim Morrison never. They announced him once as Jim Morrison and the Doors, and he made the guy go back out and say, we're the Doors. And he was very, very, particular about that. And, local band, I would say the same thing. We've got great players, and we rehearse, and they really make it come to life. And, it's a lot of work along with everyday life, and then preparing something as iconic as that, and trying to, do our version of what the Doors are, and couldn't do it without these guys, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's super cool. Like we just interviewed, when we talked to guys from the Strictly Hip. I've spoke with them over the years, and they say it all the time. They're a tribute to the music of the Strictly Hip. That sounds like what it is with you guys.
Yeah, we don't really dress up like them, or we did in the past, but now we realize it is more about the music, and we're sharing that with people that may have seen the Doors back in the 60s, and also those who weren't even maybe born then, who are going to be able to experience it in some way where normally they wouldn't be able to.
Yeah. We did a little bit of research, and Jim Morrison died before I was born. He died in '71, but I wanted to see if he ever played in Buffalo, and we found out that he was supposed to play. I say he's supposed to play on Saturday, April 26th at the Buffalo Memorial, and he didn't because he got arrested on April 3rd. And he turned himself in to the FBI back then, so that the whole rest of that tour got canceled. But that appeared to be the only time that they would have played in Buffalo. So I guess they never
quite made it. So we'll try to take it from there.
There you go. Yeah, and I'm assuming you guys probably never seen them anywhere live at any point.
I have not.
No, but they did make it as far as New York City.
They did.
Madison Square Garden, but never made it to Buffalo.
Yeah.
And
Well, they'll be there in spirit tomorrow.
that's for sure. We're gonna try and bring that back to life.
Yeah. Well, it sounds good. We're really looking forward to it. And again, the doors open, gates open at 5 p.m. You guys are going to go on at 6, so we try to encourage everybody to get there a little bit early. We're anticipating a huge crowd tomorrow, and I think that the weather's going to be beautiful. So come thirsty, come hungry, support our local vendors, help keep this free show. It is a free show. But you guys are going to go on from 6 to about 7-ish, and then have a little bit of a break, and then the Strictly Hip's going to finish the night. So then hopefully you guys can just relax and enjoy some of their music, and it'll be a great night for everybody. So we're looking forward to seeing you guys.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah,
We really look forward to
I
it.
look very, very much so.
Okay. I'm Jesse Gooch from Thursdays on the Water / JG Productions, and we're doing our little pre-game interview. And today we have Strictly Hip, who's going to be our headliner tomorrow night, and then we also have the American Doors. And we're just giving a couple of interviews, and we just want to get a little bit of a background of the bands and just kind of get to know the bands a little bit before the big show tomorrow. So. Everybody kind of knows who Bruce is, and this he's very humble, but he's a very, in my opinion, and many others, a locally famous, amazing musician, and I'm just lucky to have him as a friend and have him here today, and it's always a pleasure with you, my friend.
Always a pleasure with you, Jesse.
So,
After that wonderful, kind intro there, I was wondering if I could borrow $22.39.
what do you need that exact amount for?
It's not important.
It's yours. It doesn't matter. It's
On the way out.
Yeah, it's done deal. Done
Okay.
deal. Done deal.
Great to see you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, same here. So we have Bruce here, and I just kind of wanted to ask you a couple questions about the band for some of the audience that doesn't know.
Sure.
Kind of how you guys started, when you guys started, and know you guys have been around for a long time, but I just kind of want you to give the little Reader's Digest version of your background.
Yeah. The band started in 1995. The current lineup of the band is not the same as it was in 1995. But Jeremy started in 1995, and fast forward till now. I mean, now you know it's myself and Jeremy and Frank and Alan and Steve and again playing the incredible music of the Tragically Hip, and we're just, as Jeremy always says, we're like evangelists. We just go out and we play these great songs for everybody, and yeah, I mean that's basically it. We've been very fortunate and very lucky to be able to do some wonderful things, and again just play this amazing music that the Tragically Hip did for us for so many years, and we're just going to keep it rolling. And you know what's nice about us when we play the music, we mean it. You know what I'm saying?
So hard feeling.
We mean it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not some put on. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like we mean it.
Yeah.
So
With
I thought you would. And being serious,
Yeah.
but I also thought you would chuckle when I said that too.
No, I felt the seriousness of it.
Because
I
I'm being
was taking
serious.
it in. Yeah,
I mean, we truly do.
Yeah.
We mean it, man. We take it very
Yeah.
seriously, and we want to, just make sure that the music is like on point and play the songs, just kick the shit out of them and do that. Can I say that? Is that okay?
Yeah, you can. This is an
I won't go any further than that.
This is open mic, so
Just
you're,
there'll be a couple kick the shit
There's
out
not
of them.
many
references.
rules down here. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Back in you guys started in '95. That's amazing because I was only 2, so
Well,
I didn't
you know,
get to see you back then.
You know what's funny, Jesse, is that I just turned 82. So
You look great. Hey, speaking
Thanks.
of birthdays, guess who turned 80 today?
oh God, Sammy Hagar. I don't know.
Mick Jagger.
Mick Jagger.
Mick Jagger.
My gosh,
Yeah.
you know, my brother came into town.
Yeah.
We were having a few beverages last night, and we were listening to Tumbling Dice, which is one of my all-time favorite songs. I mean, just like of all time. And we were just professing how amazing it is, right? Those
Yeah.
guys doing what they do, still doing it.
Isn't
Mick
that
Jagger.
awesome? Yeah.
Yeah. On that recording, Jesse Mick said, it was a live recording, he said, "Oh, Ronnie's having everybody over in his room tonight. You got to bring your own beer." That's what he said.
BYOB.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
80 years old, Mick Jagger.
Yeah.
Wow. Man.
Yeah, isn't that great? You're 2 years older than him. Wow.
Yeah. Well, I like.
Both of you guys look great.
Thank you. I try to do the same thing as Mick does in terms of calisthenics and a good diet. You know, a good kind of plant-based diet.
Guess it works.
I'm
I
sorry.
guess it works for you.
Well-
unlike Keith Richards' diet.
Hard to-
Somehow that works for him.
Hard to say. I got a little bit of that here too. You know, some Marlboros and some whiskey, but
Yeah, right.
But go ahead.
Yeah, no problem. You guys do this really cool thing with the Buffalo Philharmonic Orchestra that you started. I don't know exactly when you started it, but I'm not a musician, but I love music. I'm a music lover, and many of the people in the audience are also like me. They're music lovers, and I know that there's a lot of musicians as well. On the outside looking in, it's really cool to see how you guys collaborate with a big orchestra like that. I don't know how many people are in that band. It looks like there's 100 members in that band.
Yeah.
And then you guys sync everything together. Very impressive. I've seen you guys a few times. It's usually at Canal Side or Outer Harbor or whatever, but I just kind of want you to give a little quick, brief little story, or just how it kind of works and how you guys pull that together to the audience. I'm very curious to hear that.
Yeah, and again, just being serious, very lucky, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like how many people get to do that, play with an orchestra, and so we started doing it in 2017, I think was the first one we did, which was at Canal Side, and that was absolutely insane. It ended up being on July 1st, which is, you and I know, Canada Day.
Mm.
And I mean, there was, I believe, over 15,000 there that day. Maybe I'm off by $1,000 or $2, but what's the difference? It was absolutely spectacular. People always ask us, do you rehearse with the orchestra?
Yeah, that's my next question.
And what's crazy is that no, we don't do any prior rehearsal, but it's always the day of.
Mm.
So we go and load in the early, late morning, let's say, and then we do our sound check, just us, our band, and then the orchestra will come in, and they'll get comfortable, and the conductor comes in, and then we do the whole show with the orchestra that day.
That's
And then we break for dinner and so forth, and then we come back and we do the whole show again. So that's the way it's always been from the first time in 2017.
Wow.
Canal Side was that. We did Klein Hands with them. We've done it with the BPO 4 times. Klein Hands in 2019, 2017 Canal Side, we did Batavia Downs, I think, last year.
Yeah.
And then this Outer Harbor one, unfortunately, the weather this summer's been a little, it had to get canceled.
Is it
because
going to
of
get rescheduled this year?
the- Unfortunately not, because of their schedule. We would be able to pull it off, but
Mm.
the BPO can't pull that off. And then the other, in Canada, we've been lucky enough to play with the orchestra, the Niagara Symphony Orchestra, which is twice out of St. Catharines. Beautiful new facility there. And the last one we did last fall was at Falls View Casino
Mm.
at the Avalon Ballroom.
Wow.
So, I mean, just again, very lucky, but man, just when we went through the whole show last Saturday, which was supposed to be the Outer Harbor with the BPO. So we got the whole show rehearsal in. So, I mean, I took one of my ear monitors out, and I'm just listening to this,
Beautiful
amazing
music.
orchestration, and Brad, the conductor, Brad Thatchuk. I mean, again, the charts, you've heard it. It's just, it's amazing. You know what I mean? You hear a song like In View or, Wheat Kings, just amazing with the orchestra. So we're very, very lucky.
Yeah, it really does listening to it. And it's really amazing that you guys don't practice together beforehand, how you pull it off.
Always day of the show, yeah. Always go through it.
That's
You got to be on your toes, Jess.
yeah.
Gotta be
It's
on
good
your
to be
toes.
Yeah. That's awesome, great stuff, and you guys just really got. I mean, with the unfortunate passing of Gord, a few years back, you guys have always had a big following, but I would say it probably grew since then because of all the loyal hip fans really want to get their hip fixed, and you guys are a way of doing that for us. So it looks like you guys really even grew a lot more over the last few years. And I know you guys played Vegas. I saw you guys in Vegas.
That's what you did.
And you played in a few other parts of the country. And I know Jeremy does a lot of the marketing and that kind of stuff for you guys, and the connections with that.
An amazing job he does.
You guys do a great job. How many gigs would you say you guys do a year?
Oh,
Between
wow.
local and national stuff?
Man, I mean, it's got to clock in, God, maybe like 150, maybe, you know, somewhere around there,
Yeah.
give or take.
Yeah.
You know, I've never actually, it's crazy, it's like I never actually looked, but it's got to clock in somewhere around there. But yeah, very fortunate. I mean, you're right. I mean,
Yeah.
Gord passed, and that's just absolutely awful. And you know, I mean, again, no patting ourselves on the back. The way that we do it, Jesse, you know, the way we do it, again, we're not dressing up like, I mean, again, Jeremy doesn't dress up like Gord in a white suit and then, you know, just do all that.
Sure.
You know what I mean? We sort of have adopted this philosophy where we play the music like on the money, you know, look cool when we do it and give the people a great show, and they respond to that.
Yeah, tribute to the music. You got the,
you know,
you guys are experts with the music.
you know, and that's the way we approach it. So I think people enjoy that
Good.
as opposed to, you know, even the tribute things. Like we don't even sort of like the word tribute act. Like the way we do it, we sort of don't see ourselves as that per se, you know, because you know when you go see like a Zeppelin, some of them, you know, dress up, right? You know,
Sure.
got the dragon suit and all that
Yeah.
stuff, Jimmy Page, and you know, it's sort of more like, you know, when you see Get the Lead Out, they're just looking cool and playing the shit out of the music, right?
Yeah.
It's that
That's
kind of
what you-
that
yeah.
kind of thing. So
Yeah.
you know,
And nothing wrong with the other thing too, because
no, absolutely not. No, it's whatever you want to do, but we just choose to we choose to do it that way.
And
Yeah.
it works great for you guys,
Yeah.
obviously. Yeah. You guys have some swag that came out recently, your merch and stuff like that. That seems to be a huge hit too.
I know what you're
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, those little things. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a hit.
He brought.
How come you can't get those at 7-Eleven? You should be able to.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely,
Yeah.
yes. Well, it's, talking about the rolling papers, we got some Strictly Hip rolling papers that are, it's just fantastic. I remember the first show that they came to the merch table, I was like, well, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. I actually put a post up on social media. I go, now is this effing cool or what? You know?
Yeah.
That got more love than anything else. Jesse.
Yeah,
You know what
I know.
Everybody liked that. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, I mean, you know what? The people that handle the merch do just such a great job with the just all the new shirt designs and stuff. But seriously, how cool is that, right? And
It's
with
awesome.
rolling
Yeah.
papers, like
Yeah.
we're gonna be expanding too with other cool things in that genre. Not so much, you know, THC based, but other cool things that
Promotional
are
items.
different,
Yeah.
other than a shirt and
Yeah.
you know, a hat or something like that. So
Yeah.
so that more to come on that.
Cool. Well, be sure to bring some of that swag tomorrow. I'm sure.
Oh yeah, the merch table.
Some-
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll probably sell out tomorrow. I think we're gonna have a big show tomorrow. The
Hope so.
weather, unlike last week for a few of us, it's gonna be great tomorrow.
Yeah.
They're saying 85 and sunny,
Yeah.
and we're expecting a monster show now. You guys played for us since day one. We started this thing in
That's right.
2017 with a tiny little stage. I tell people the story how we had just a couple pallets and plywood and a small stage and a
That's
few
right.
people, and it really, well, even before that, we did the Gooch Fest thing where I had the backyard parties and you guys always headline that parade in our backyard.
That's right.
But we kind of evolved from that
Yeah.
to
You come a long way, baby.
to Thursdays on the Water, and it grew over the last few years. But I know you recall this, but a couple years ago, I think it was just coming out of COVID, we had you guys, and it took us all by storm. I think you guys were even just as surprised and blown out of the water as we were. We think that we had very close to 10,000 people that day.
Yeah.
You know the show I'm
Oh
talking
yeah,
about.
sure do.
And it was just insane. Like I had about 14, 15 bartenders, and we sold all the beer, and there was still another hour to play. We had to call local bars to grab their kegs and pay
Yeah.
everybody back, and
Yeah.
scrambled a little bit. So this time we're stacked. We have a semi truck coming to beer tomorrow.
That's great.
So we want everybody to come thirsty, come hungry, support our local vendors and everything. But this band is such a great professional band. you know, they a lot of times you play in the town ballroom in places that have an entry fee, and it's worth every penny. I mean, whatever it is, pay it. When they charge for tickets, pay whatever it is as well. You're gonna get your money's worth if you haven't seen them before, and even if you've seen you guys a million times, it's worth it. Every penny to go pay to watch you guys play. But
Thank you, Jeff.
Thursdays on the Water is a free event. And I think with that being said, and to have such an amazing band like you guys on a beautiful summer day, I think we're going to have another huge crowd. It could be, tiptoeing around a crowd we had a couple years ago, I think.
I hope so. That would be great. That would be great. We're looking, we look forward to it, man. We love doing the show for you.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. What is it the most that you like playing at Thursdays on the Water? Now that you guys done this bunch of times, what is it you think you like the best?
I mean, obviously, Jesse, you just do a great job with the organization of the whole thing, and of course, all the production is great. And again, everything down to the vendors and some of your staff. I mean, it's a wonderful experience. So it's one of our favorite things to do in the summertime. And I mean that too.
I do.
It's one of our favorite things to do here in Western New York. So it's just an A+ event, and we just love doing it, man. Love doing it.
And you can't beat the location, right?
No,
on the river.
of course, absolutely. The only thing is, Jess, is that for me, again, I don't get to fish as much as I would like to fish in the summer because it's such a busy time for me. Some people say, well, why don't you get up, like fishing and golf and something I like to do.
Yeah.
Don't get to do either one of them a lot, right? In the summer, I'm just
Yeah.
playing my ass off all the time, but we're playing our asses off all the time. But when I see the river over there, all I think about, you know what I mean? I could be tuning up, and I'm thinking about,
There you go, reel it in, man. Why don't you get there early tomorrow? Cast a few lines out there.
whoa! I gotta have clean hands, Jess. Gotta have clean hands.
Look how pretty his hands are.
No, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if I the smell of the fish, it's like one of
Yeah,
my
I know
favorite
what
smells.
you're saying.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that'd be,
Yeah.
they would take me,
That might not be good.
I'd be trying to play like Escape is at Hand by the Traveling Man and smelling smallmouth bass,
Yeah.
and my mind would be, I'd be out of my mind,
Yeah.
But it's the location is just fantastic, right? The boats come up and they can listen to the show, watch the show from their vantage point, and it's just one of the best events, Jess.
Awesome.
You
and
did it!
We did it.
You
we're
did it!
we're a team. We did it.
I love you, man. So good.
I
so
love you.
good.
And we're really looking forward to tomorrow. So yeah, we're super excited to see it
So
tomorrow. It's going to be a big day. We're really looking forward to this one
So are we,
tomorrow,
man.
as
We're looking
always.
forward. We've got an
And for
amazing-
many years to come, right? We're not
Absolutely.
as long as we're doing this, and you guys are going to be there.
Absolutely, and
Yeah.
we've got an amazing show for you. I know that we put a set list together that is what we like to call a knock you on your ass set list. That's what we like to call this. You know what I'm saying? Knock you
Yeah.
on your ass set list.
I
So,
love it.
But
Yeah.
it's going to be wonderful, man. We're looking
Yeah.
forward to it, bro.
Same here, man. Hopefully we could have a drink afterwards.
Oh, that'd be great, man. So maybe sarsaparilla, you and me.
Yeah, I'm down.
Fantastic. All right.
Let's do it.
Love you,
Well,
Jess.
yeah, love you too, man. So again, Bruce from Strictly Hip. We'll see you tomorrow at Thursdays on the Water. Doors open at 5. I always say doors, but there's not doors.
Gates.
Gates.
What?
And there's not even gates.
It's the same thing.
Whatever. We
Same.
open at 5.
Yeah.
And the beer gates open at 5. There you
That's
go.
right. That's
And
important.
come thirsty, come hungry, support our local vendors. We have many sponsors to help keep this a free event. And I want to thank all of them. Don't have time to mention all of them other than Joe Call from Call Associates, one of my best friends, and he's tomorrow's event sponsor. And there's going to be many more sponsors as well that Carl Russo from 97 Rock's going to mention. And we want to thank all of them. But again, it's 5 o'clock, gates open, 6 o'clock, the American Doors are going to start. And they're going to open for the Strictly Hip, who's going to come on about 7:30-ish or so till about 8:30-ish, and they're going to do 2 sets like we always do, and take a small break, and then they're going to play till 10 o'clock or so. We can bend the rules a little bit, right?
Give or take.
I know the guy that's running this.
Give or take. Give or take.
All right, man. Thanks.
Sweet.
Love you. We'll see you tomorrow.